Hello dear student, welcome to Strive IAS. Dear student, today we are going to see about 5th June newspaper analysis. So let's see. So first is about next census to be concluded by March 2027 says by the government. So delay population count will be the first digital census and will include enumeration of caste for first time in the independence India. So date for two phase to be notified on June 16th. Okay. So India will be count its population on March 1st 2027 in a census to be held unprecedented after a 16-year gap because of the COVID-19. So census has been postponed. Okay. So the Union Home Ministry said. So dear student, please write in the comment box census comes under which ministry, under which ministry census fall. So it can be a good question for the prelims, and already I have told you I'll give you 5 to 6 tasks daily. It can be also increased more than that. So you have to search in Google and then you have to make note of it, and it is my guarantee you'll get 20 to 30 marks in your examination by doing that, and in mains you'll also get an edge. So my guarantee that you'll get 20 to 30 marks extra by doing that, and in mains you'll also get lots of value addition as compared to your competitor. So you'll definitely get that. So census will be conducted in two phase, February 28 2027. So date announced हो चुकी है then. ठीक है. So that is all about. So the next is the constitution mandate that first census after 2026 can be used as a basis to redraw the Lok Sabha constituency which are drawn on the basis of 1971 census. Currently जो हमारा census जो लोक सभा का जो constituency है that they are based on the 1971 data. So after 2026 जो हमारा census होगा उस basis पे हम redraw करेंगे. Okay. So next is 11 dies in the stampede at the RCB Cup celebration. So then why we need to study that? We need to study that because how we are going to manage crowd. Okay. So this is a very important issue in disaster management. So crowd management. So the crushing tragedy when 11 people below the age of 40 were killed and 47 injured after massive built-up fan torn in the Chinnaswamy Stadium. Okay. So 2 lakh people. So here 2 lakh people are gathered, जबकि इसका कैपेबिलिटी कितना है 32,000 कैपेबिलिटी. डॉक्टर attributed all the death because of asphyxiation, that means because of suffocation. Asphyxiation from lack of oxygen after overcrowding and narrow passes led to the deadly rush. So here I have given a detail about the census. So how census is conducted, so what are the process, then national population registry, please go through it. You will find lot of things, and census is citizenship act is also given, so please go through it. Okay. So here it is given a migrant worker on the Wednesday clean up the debris was ashore in Thiruvananthapuram after the cargo ship that sunk off the Kerala coast. The ecological impact of marine accident is being studied as a country observe the World Environmental Day. So the 5th June today we celebrate World Environment Day. Okay. So they clean the beach. So next is again one more YouTuber arrested in Punjab on charge of spying for the Pakistan. Okay. So that person is arrested under the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita section 61(2) and Official Secret Act, because because there is a charge that person is supplying some secretive information that is protected under the Official Secret Act. Dear student, to get this PDF, simply scan this QR code and join our application. In that application there is a section called Infographics, so you can tap that and you'll get all the infographics. Not today, 2 year back infographics is also there. So next is no diesel petrol vehicle fleet in NCR from 2026. It's a bold step taken by the Delhi government to ensure that clean environment and the Delhi. So all the vehicles that is after 2026 there should be EV, or there should not be any pollution, no diesel, no petrol. So major push towards clean mobility, the Commission for Air Quality Management. So your homework is you have to study about CAQM. CAQM is a statutory body, constitutional body, what kind of things are there, so you have to study everything related to that. Okay. So now new diesel and petrol vehicle can be added to the fleet of e-commerce company and vehicle aggregator operating in the Delhi NCR region. So now no new diesel or petrol vehicle they cannot add after that. Okay. So only electric or compressed natural gas, that is CNG vehicle, will be allowed to be newly inducted into commercial delivery and mobile fleet. So the commission emphasized that implementing the norm would help address the significantly high contribution from the transport sector and overall pollution in Delhi. So by using that we can control the pollution in the Delhi. Okay. So your homework is study about CAQM, commission CAQM in detail, like under which act it is established, what are the power, what are the criticism. So you have to know everything about that. So next, Chhattisgarh government give nod for promote tourism in the tribal dominated area. So it is a very good initiative, tribal area having unique culture, tradition, so that can be promote as a tourism. So people from the urban area, they can come there and experience the tribal unique cultural heritage. That will be win-win for the both. So Chhattisgarh cabinet approved this policy. So in the which region, just give me, yes, it is the Bastar and Sarjuga, the tribal dominated region known for Maoist stronghold. So government officials state that the homestay would be a rural life experience to the visitor, highlighting the regional character of the tribal area, local culture and craft. Okay. So this will also promote the vocal for the local. So people are traveling all over the world, like Turkey. So Turkey on the one hand taking our money and supplying weapon to the Pakistan, but instead of that we can travel to this tribal area and experience lot of things. Okay. So next, this is a very interesting incident. Bihar is called dry state because here liquor is banned. But in, let's say this is Bihar and Uttar Pradesh border. Let's say this is a border. It is a UP, it's Bihar. So here it is banned, but people migrated to the UP to consume liquor and do lot of smuggling in the border area. So because of that, it is in news. So you can see here the April 16, the Chief Minister Nitish Kumar banned the sale of alcohol in Bihar. With that, buying, selling, manufacturing and consumption of liquor became prohibited in the state. If law violated, Bihar Prohibition and Excise Act stipulated strict action including jail terms. But because of problem in the implementation, there is smuggling is going on in the border area, and the reason people are whatsoever may be the law, if law may be very strict, very punitive, but if it is not implemented proper at the ground level, it will bite the dust. So according to the police, however, they are patrolling hard. We are plugging holes on the border in the partnership with the state prohibition and excise department. Police are saying like that, but people still they take smuggle all these things in the border area. So victory celebration and in the tragedy in the Bangalore after RCB win. So most of the death are, you can see, first of all there is a intense heat. So most of the people they faint, and because of extreme crowd, so there is a shortage of oxygen and people cannot breathe properly. So because of that, so many people are died because of asphyxiations. Okay, this is what called suffocation also. So this is important for your crowd management. You can give example in crowd management example. So it's a part of the disaster management. So it's artificial disaster. So dear student, you can join our Dronacharya year-long mentorship program. Here you'll guided by the interview of your faculty who will guide you throughout your journey, so that you will not waste your preparation or year in this preparation. So next we'll see about expedition on study ecological impact of Kochi shipwreck. So recently there is a ship that MSC Ilsa that sunken in the coast of Kerala. So how it is going to impact our marine biodiversity, local people, so we have to study. So fishery oceanographic research vessel named Sagar Sampada. So you need to know about what is the objective or what is Sagar Sampada. So you need to know that it's a fishery oceanographic research vessel Sagar Sampada, operated by Central Marine Fishery Research Institute. Here will carry out expedition investigating potential ecological and biochemical impact of Liberian flag MSC Ilsa. You need to also remember Ilsa, MSC Ilsa. So they can ask a question recently, MSC Ilsa 3 seen in news related to what? You need to know that, and you need to know about Sagar Sampada. So they can ask question recently or Sagar Sampada deals with what? So during 10-day voyages, scientists will monitor the biodiversity, biochemical parameter and regional hydrography as well as ocean current using advanced instruments. Some sediment sample will be collected to assess the impact of seabed community. High-end acoustic signal and big eye camera help identify marine life changes. Okay. So let's move to the last page. So clashes between Andromeda and Milky Way may not happen after all. So our galaxy name is Milky Way galaxy, so our nearby galaxy name is Andromeda. So there is a belief that there might be collapse, but it will not happen. Okay, so it is talking about all these things. So already more than 4.5 billion year old, so like our sun is on course to run out of the energy, die another 5 billion year. Like already we have covered 4.5 billion year, and after 5 billion year it will die out, but not before coming so big. It will be engulf Mercury, Venus, and possibly Earth. Even if it doesn't swallow the Earth, the home planet will be left burn a ball. Its ocean long since boiled away because of climate change. It's talking about the latest observation by the NASA's Hubble Space Telescope. So you need to know about NASA's detail about Hubble. You need to study detail about it. Okay, so next is European Space Agency's Gaia star surveying spacecraft to simulate the possible scenario facing the Milky Way and next door neighbor Andromeda. Both are already collided with other galaxy in ancient past, and according to many seems destined for a head-on crash. So they believe that there might be in future, so both Milky Way and Andromeda might collapse or crashed together. Okay, so full on collision would transform our home galaxy into a disk of star as a milky band of diffuse light across the sky into Milky bulb. Okay, while our galaxy fate remain highly uncertain, the sun's future is pretty much sealed. According to of course, very much significant chance that humanity will bring to an end itself much before that without any need for astrophysical help. देखो after 5 billion year, sun is going to be lose all its power. So anyway our planet is going to end its life. So before that, because of the global warming and all sort of anthropogenic activity will destroy our earth. No need for any astrophysical phenomena to destroy this earth. So dear student, our daily mentorship program, free mentorship program is going on in our Telegram channel. You can scan this QR code to join our free mentorship program. Here you will get daily schedule, you will get newspaper, current affair, you will get access to the free PYQ, a lot of things. So just scan it and get access to it. Okay, so next is Bangladesh dropped the title of father of nation Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. So recently after coming the power this unist government, so they take lot of step that is taken by the Awami League government led by this Sheikh Hasina. So the interim government Bangladesh notified the changes 2022 Act removing the mention Sheikh Mujibur Rahman as father of the nation. The development comes soon after administration led by the Muhammad Yunus brought new set of currency note that removed the image of the Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Okay? The Yunus government introduced a currency note that depicts the pluralistic heritage of Bangladesh but remove well-known image of Mujibur Rahman seen as in the note of the Bangladesh. So the Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, the president of 1971 government of Bangladesh in exile, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman and other leader declare as a freedom fighter. Now they declare as a freedom fighter, not as a father, national father. So this is what why it is important for us, because we have seen the Awami League government always helpful to Indian government, but Bangladesh National Party and Muhammad Yunus, whenever they comes to power, they always act against the interest of the India, and we know that northeast is very fragile. So any change in power, any disturbances in the northeast Bangladesh, that is going to create also disturbances in northeast. So our internal security is also linked with that. So because of that we are quite concerned about it. Okay, so dear student, you can join our UPSC Prelims test series. So it is very nominal fees, but the quality of question are very high. I know that other institute they are charging very high amount of money, so because of that we kept it very low so that everyone can have access to it. Okay, so you can scan this QR code and to join this test series. Okay, so first five test series are free. First 5 tests are free of each and every section. You can explore that as well. Okay, to know about quality of our test. So extremely hard to make a deal with Chinese president say Donald Trump as tariff steel tariff doubled. Okay, so this is what like it is frustrating for the Donald Trump. So not much important for us. And dear student, you can join our answer writing program. So here you'll get completely flexible, like 2 questions per day, or you can write 10 questions in a week, or full length in a 14 days. You can write either question of your choice, or you can write our question. So it is completely flexible. It is like number of question you choose, day you write, entirely flexible. So to know more about it, you can simply scan this QR code or you can contact me. So next is most India's next gen high net worth individual will add 10% more offshore assets. So that means, in future the high net worth individual, those who are having rich people, they are going to create more assets in the abroad. So by 2030, some 98% of the next gen high net worth individuals in India are planning to increase offshore assets more than 10%, according to World Wealth Report 2025 released by the French tech. This greater focus on the offshore investment or physical assets such as real estate, jewelry, financial assets like bank account, investment, insurance policy outside their home country come better investment option, better wealth. ठीक है, so they want to do that. And India had already kitna, you can see here, it is 3,33,000 millionaires at the end of 2024. So you can note down that India is already having 3.33 lakh millionaires. Millionaire means 10 to the power 6, 10 lakh. 1 million is 10 lakh. So stainless steel industry seek policy support. Stainless steel industry seeks policy support. India's stainless steel industry has been called national stainless steel policy unlock its full potential in manufacturing, innovation and global competition. India's stainless steel consumption reached 4.8 million tons. ठीक है, so yet nearly 30% of its meet by import, while domestic capacity remain underutilized. So it is a very sad thing when our own capability is not being utilized, but we are importing the steel from the other country. That means we are providing help to other country while we are letting our industry to be died. This is what problem with our policy. ठीक है, for stainless steel industry to reach its true potential, we need policy framework that boost confidence, support Make in India, ensure long-term sustainability and competitiveness. So we are reaffirming call for level playing field, urging policymaker to proactively safeguard this sector. So as the world pays to world sustainability and resilient infrastructure, stainless steel relevance is only growing. However, the influx of unfairly priced import continue challenging domestic market. So actually what happened, China tried to dump its excess product in Indian market at a very cheap rate to simply to damage Indian industry later on, so that later on they can sell lot of things in India. That is what impacting our steel industry. So we need to create proper policy. We need to impose anti-dumping duty on the Chinese things so that we can protect our local industry. So next, West Asia crisis could delay the IMEC. So say Ministry of External Affairs. So geopolitical issue, ठीक है, geopolitical issue, competition similar projects such as China-led Belt and Road Initiative and homogenization of system across the partner is a challenging for IMEC, India Middle East Economic Corridor. So what is the full form of IMEC? India Middle East Europe Economic Corridor. ठीक है, so the ongoing crisis in West Asia like Israel and Palestine conflict, Israel and Hamas conflict, you can say Iran and Iran with USA conflict. So that is going to hamper, so could pose an obstacle to the completion of India Middle East Europe Economic Corridor, which announced in sideline of G20 summit in 2023. So dear student, it is your task to study about IMEC in detail. IMEC. So here you have to look all the map through which route it is traveling, which country are member of this IMEC. So what are the objective, how it is going to benefit, what are the challenges. You have to read everything about that. So it can be important for your prelims, mains. Even if they don't ask question, you have to write that another point. So if you have knowledge, you can write that. Okay, so because of this conflict, we are going back to the square one positions. What is the value of square one? 1. Again square is 1. That means we are on the same position. We are not moving ahead. So but I think crisis in the Middle East could become problem or obstacle for IMEC. So IMEC is a proposed corridor spanning ship rail road network to connect India to the Gulf region and Gulf regions to the Europe. Gulf means Gulf of Persian Gulf, ठीक है, Persian Gulf, and from Persian Gulf we have to connect to the Europe. So any mega project this magnitude could face challenges, but added that two main issue. One is competition from the China Belt and Road Initiative. So dear student, you have to study about BRI, Belt and Road Initiative of the China in detail. You have to study about that, like what are the component of it, what are the challenges, how China used that diplomacy or checkbook diplomacy to influence the Belt and Road Initiative, and homogenization of the system across the partner country. देखो let's say we have to make sure that a let's say truck travel from the India, a truck travel from the India and it have to travel to the Gulf and then Europe. So in that case our in our traffic system, our vehicle system, pollution level is quite different from the whatever in the Middle East. Again, it is quite different from the Europe. So we have to harmonize the system so that there should not be any problem while traveling from one country to the another country. So in my view, biggest challenge could be the way, that is apart from the political issue and conflict, harmonization, the ability to harmonize across the platform, across the country, important. Harmonization in terms of regulatory standards, regulatory standard, both your technical and phytosanitary regulation, your transportation network, taxation system, that will be that will be help in the implementation. IMEC could reduce the cargo transit time, but that custom regulation at each transit point could undo the gain. So though it will reduce the transit time, but it is passes through the multiple country. If there is a time taken in the custom clearance, it will also counter that. So we need to ensure harmonization and faster clearance of all the cargo. Okay, so dear student, you can scan this QR code and join our application or our Telegram, where you can talk to me regarding your doubts. So we'll discuss that. So India is set to assume presidency of IAS Global Federation. So India has won the presidency for International Institute of Administrative Science for term 2025 to 2028, a government statement said. So IIAS is a global federation comprising of 31 member country, 20 national section and 15 academic research center. So collaborating on scientific research and public administration. So what are the objective? Collaboration, International Institute of Administrative Science promote public administration. ठीक है. So India has been a member since 1998. ठीक है. So Department of Administrative and Public Grievances, उसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? DARPG, DARPG, DARPG. So key member country includes Japan, China, Germany, Italy, Korea, Saudi Arabia, Africa. So these are the key member country. ठीक है. So India candidature received widespread support across the membership. So at final stage there are two candidates. One is Australia versus India. India get more vote as compared to Australia. That is a clear indication that world is supporting India, world is with India. So that is a also indication that India is rising. So next is illiterate people were given jobs under the pressure from the Lalu's rail ministry, says CBI. So during the tenure of the Lalu Prasad Yadav as a railway ministry, at that time Lalu Prasad Yadav under pressure, put pressure, according to CBI, he put pressure on the the recruitment agencies to recruit the group D level, those who are even not even to write their name, to give them job, and later on these people given them, donated the land to the Lalu Prasad Yadav. So it's a clear indication, nexus in the appointments. This is what called corruption, systemic corruption in our system. देखो आप क्या करो, किसी को जॉब दे दो एंड रिटर्न में उनको मांगो कि आपको कुछ लैंड दे दे, तो इट्स ए सिस्टमिक करप्शन. ठीक है. सो वी नीड टू टैकल दैट ऑल्सो ना. Just read it out, you'll find that. So why it is important, you need to understand these things. You can give example in your examiner during your mains exam na. Center ask state to ensure supply of medical oxygen, isolated bed and ventilator. So recently there is a rising cases of COVID-19 in India. So to prevent any sorts death or untoward incident, so it is generally recommended to increase the oxygen oxygen cylinder, ventilator and bed ready. So state unit now closely watching influenza like illness and severe acute respiratory illness. So IRCTC digital drive to deactivate 2.5 suspect user ID. So IRCTC now deactivating so many fake ID. So that is being used to create or book the Tatkal ticket. So that is going to help the common man more better. So Indian Railway Catering and Tourism Corporation, Indian Railway Catering and Tourism Corporation, it is the full form of IRCTC, has deactivated 2.5 crore suspect user ID as part of digital overhaul of ticketing infrastructure. So Railway has copped the unauthorized automated booking by unscrupulous agent and improve the access of website to the genuine users. देखो जो एजेंट है उनके लिए इजीली हो जाता था बुकिंग, तो उसकी वजह से वो लोग को बहुत एक्सप्लॉइट करते थे. बट कॉमन मैन जिसको चाहिए, मैं खुद भी कितने बार ट्राई किया, हो नहीं रहा था. तो After this, it will be ensured that everyone, like common man can easily book their Tatkal ticket or general ticket. So IRCTC is taking additional step to revalidate suspicious accounts, and later on they will remove. So next it is said that Make in India should be given priority. So our Prime Minister tell to the minister in first meeting with the Council of Ministers after Operation Sindoor. So said that indigenous weapons has proved their might during the operation, and noted that nature of the warfare has changed them before. So priority should be given to the Make in India regard to weapon as much as possible, because whenever we are promoting our weapon, so it is, first of all, it is very cheap and it is easy to integrate. There is no regulation. For example, recently USA put pressure on the different country like Israel. Even the UK is putting pressure on the Israel not to use their weapon system against the Hamas. So same kind of restriction may in future impose with us also. Even the Rafale source code, to integrate some Indian made weapon into Rafale, France is not ready to share the source code. So in that case, it is very difficult for us to operate the foreign instrument. So rather, if let's say if we have our own aircraft, it is very easy for us to integrate whichever system we want, and we don't need anyone's permission. And during war, we cannot trust anyone, because during our Indo-Pak conflict, we have seen how the America is changing its position, like flip-flop position. We don't trust anyone. So whenever you are self-sufficiency, no one, you are not going to listen anyone. You will have to do whatever you want to do. Same thing, we need to be self-sufficient in the defense manufacturing. So next is India vehemently oppose ADB, Asian Development Funding, to the Pakistan. So this is very sad thing. So in continuation of its effort to various multilateral fora to cop the funding to the Pakistan, Indian government has vehemently opposed the Asian Development Bank latest decisions to provide additional funding to the Pakistan, saying that more funding whenever provided to Pakistan, instead of investing in education, health, social development, Pakistan always invest in the military, and that money will go to the China. So both Pakistan and China, they will benefit. So and these weapons are going to use against the Indian people, or promotion of the terrorism. So that is what India's concern. India has told ADB that it expect that multilateral bank manages adequately ring fencing ADB finance to prevent any such misused. So ADB announced that it will approve funding of 800 billion to the Pakistan under its resource mobilization program. India cautioned ADB regarding possible misuse of these resources for promoting terrorism, because Pakistan is famous for one industry, that is terrorist industry. So India pointed out that ADB that Pakistan tax collection as a percentage of GDP is declining from 13% to 29% and continue to remain. On the one hand, the tax collection of Pakistan is declining very rapidly, but on the other hand, defense spending is increased. How it is possible? It is possible because they are using this international loan to fund military expansion, and their military are thriving. So India highlighted that significant increase in the Pakistan defense spending during that period, whenever their tax collection is declining. So India has lobbied strong with International Monetary Fund member 2 to stop additional funding to the Pakistan. How India will, recently India is also planning to send its mission and create awareness about the Pakistan, so that it can be put on the FATF grey list. FATF grey list. So dear student, there are two tasks for you. First, you have to study about ADB. Like member, you have to remember that largest shareholding of the ADB, headquarter of ADB, India is member or not. If yes, then what is the share of India in the ADB, and what are the objective of the ADB, and what are the project that is funded by ADB in India. So we have to study that. Second thing is FATF. You have to study about FATF, its origin, headquarter, objective, its 3 list: grey list, black list. Okay, so you have to study about this list. So how country are put. Okay, so these program are implemented, most critical. So here we'll see how India will be sending dossier to the Financial Action Task Force to re-inclusion of Pakistan in the grey list country that warranted greater supervision. India's expressed strong reservation about Pakistan existing governance system to the ADB. So the program implementation most critical FATF system. So once a country is put under the grey list, so there is a increasing monitoring on that country. So country has to take step to prevent money laundering, terror financing. So previously Pakistan was also in that list. So because of they have to take a lot of steps. So that is also going to choke their finance also. So we need to also put pressure on international community so that Pakistan should be put in the grey list. Once a country in grey list, so it will be like good for India, particularly for putting Pakistan in the grey list. So next is monsoon session of the parliament is going to held in the from 21st July. So opposition say that, so that is not our concern what opposition saying. So center has started reaching out to the opposition party, building a unified response for moving impeachment motion against Justice High Court Justice Yashwant Verma. Monsoon session likely to start from July 21 to August 12. This is my cause of concern. So देखो पार्लियामेंट सेशन कहते हैं छोटा छोटा पार्लियामेंट सेशन, दे आर नॉट लॉन्ग, दे आर वेरी स्मॉल ड्यूरेशन सेशन. सो डेमोक्रेसी, इफ पार्लियामेंट सेशन आर वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग, सो इट इज़ वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू होल्ड द गवर्नमेंट अकाउंटेबल. सो वी नीड टू हैव मोर सिटिंग इन द पार्लियामेंट. So recently there is a case against the High Court judge of High Court of a Delhi High Court judge regarding case, the cash are found in the house of that Justice Verma. So the parliament want to impeach the justice. So because of that there is a need for widespread support. So here your homework is we have to study about impeachment process of High Court, Supreme Court judges. So entire procedure you have to study it very well. Okay, so dear student, once again I am telling you, each and every class I'll give you 5 to 6 tasks, and your sole objective after this completion of this video is to watch that multiple number of time, and it is my guarantee you'll get 20 to 30 question guarantee marks, not question marks, in the prelims, and that will ensure 100% surety to clear this prelim. So you have to watch daily this video and you have to practice whatever task I am giving. I know it is difficult, it is very difficult, you don't have time, but discipline makes it possible. If you practice daily, you will excel in your examination. If you sweat more in peace, you will less bleed in the war. Otherwise, if you enjoy in the peace, you will bleed in the war. It is choice is yours. So next is Modi likely to attend BRICS summit in Brazil next month, mid closely watched by the USA. Yes, so Prime Minister Narendra Modi expected to travel Rio de Janeiro BRICS summit Brazil. Source said that. So gathering is being closely watched by the US administration led by the Donald Trump. So USA see the BRICS as a counterweight to the G7. So they believe that G7 versus BRICS. So developed nation Russian President Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping are expected to attend the meeting as well as. So along with that, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Iran, Egypt and Indonesia is also going to attend. So our Prime Minister attendance at the event comes soon after 4-day conflict with the Pakistan and India new normal on the fighting terrorism. So any joint statement on the cross-border terrorism by the largely economic group will be significant for India. So if any joint statement comes out after this meeting, so it is winning for India, because we are trying to expose the Pakistan nefarious design. So given China supports to the Pakistan during Operation Sindoor, so plan to resort bilateral tie with the to start of the Kailash Mansarovar Yatra, that is Indian pilgrimage to Tibet in the June. So alternative, there is a proposal among the BRIC countries to start an alternative currency to the dollar. So BRIC discussion on use of alternative national currency for trade are likely to be trigger reaction in the USA. So in past also Donald Trump given threat to the country, anyone want to reduce significance of dollar, face the consequences. So buying again also US also threatening India, like buying hardware from the Russia is a irritant past also. So BRICS now having 11 members, so and present half of the population and 39% of the global GDP. G7 on the other hand comprising of Canada, French, German, Italy, Japan, UK and along with USA with European accounting for 30% of the world GDP. So it is your homework to study about BRICS, member of the BRICS, detail how it is formed, what are the objective, what are the challenges, and there is a BRICS bank, BRICS contingency fund. So you need to know everything about that also. Then you also need to know about the G7 meeting and which G7 meeting Indian Prime Minister attended recently. So all these things you have to study as for part of your homework. So next is about Rio reset. So BRICS grouping. The Rio reset suggests it poses challenges to the Western economy. According to the Brazil president concept note, the motto of this year BRICS summit will be strengthening cooperation in global south for more inclusive and sustainable governance. So the note make no mention of the use of alternative currency than dollar. So to prevent, I think, any negative reaction from the Donald Trump. So India and Australia agree to work together in fight against terrorism. Now Australia is a close partner of USA, but after Donald Trump coming into power, so international community are not trusting America. So that is the reason they are finding, like, looking for some alternative stable partner. So India is a natural partner for the Australia. So that is the reason our relation is, improving. So that is what it is saying. So we need to diversify our relation, like defense cooperation, because both India and Australia, they are bound by the Indian Ocean region. So it is Australia, it is India, so it is the Indian Ocean region. So we need to protect the Chinese are quite active in this region, so they are hampering the interest of Australia or Indian also. So we can cooperate, provide petrol vessels to all these, Maldives. Recently the Australia provide petrol vessels to the Maldives. We can also help in joint patrolling of this vast area to prevent any Chinese activity here. Even we have seen 2 days back, even the New Zealand Prime Minister, New Zealand also want a good relation or strategic partnership with India, because everyone want a stable partner like India. India don't bully any country. We are very responsible country. So next is government to bring new national policy on senior citizenship. So you can see population projection estimated 20% of the country will be senior by 2047. So by 2047, 20% our population are more than 60 year. ठीक है. A new national policy on senior citizen is in draft stage. This is what said by our Union Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. So you can see here the urban, you can say the senior citizen is coming under Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, MOSJE, Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. So discussion on the Wednesday at the meeting, National Council for Senior Citizen chaired by Social Justice Minister. So National Council for Senior Citizen is headed by, who is heading the National Council for Senior Citizen? It is the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Okay, Ministry said that discussion, so छोड़ो इसको इतना important नहीं है. The population projection estimated to be our senior citizen population estimated to be 20% by 2047. According to 2000 census, so it is around 8.23% of our population at that time are elderly population. So projection that by, so they will be 12% by 2026. So you need to remember that thing. Whenever you are going to argue anything in your examination, you have to give this data. So government implemented a yojana named Rashtriya Vayosri Yojana, so an integrated program for senior citizens. So senior citizen portal terms enhance the quality and post distribution of follow-up assisted living device. So under this Rashtriya Vayosri Yojana, they are aimed to distribute the life assisted device, like artificial limb, something like that, so that their life can be improved, they can enjoy their life. So the next is Rashtriya Vayosri Yojana. More than 5 lakh senior citizen has been given free assisted device. ठीक है, Rashtriya Vayosri Yojana, they given free assisted device, for example artificial limb or sticks, something, so that they can easily, they don't depend on the other people. Okay. So has the environmental crisis in India exacerbated? That means इंडिया का जो environmental crisis को हम ज़्यादा बढ़ा देते हैं क्या, उसके बारे में बात कर रहा है. What factor that contribute to the current environmental crisis? Dear student, this article is entirely important for your UPSC examination. So whatever given, please read it very carefully. You'll understand a lot of things. ठीक है. So world is grappling with the 3 deeply intertwined planetary crises. One is carbon emission. Yes, carbon emission has been rising very rapidly since the industrial revolution. At present around 408, I think, parts per million the concentration of the carbon dioxide. So it is almost doubled the pre-industrial level. So second one is biodiversity loss. Yes, lot of forest species are wiping out. And third one is pollution. So as a developing economy, India smaller per capita footprint, we are emitting per capita, means per person emitting very few amount as compared to 14.7. this is asked in UPSC prelims. So they ask this in this year prelims also. So they given the wrong numbers. ठीक है. So yet it is aggregate emission arising. देखो, India is having per capita, each person is emitting very few as compared to USA, but our population is 140 crore. So at cumulative adding everything, so India is a larger emitter, third larger emitter of the carbon dioxide. A meaningful response must include accountability from, if we want to control. So it is the industrialized nation who are majorly responsible for global warming, they have to provide. So it is given very good article. So please, dear student, don't miss it, read it very well, so you'll understand a lot of things. So is the global warming became distraction. So देखो, the global mean temperature rise of 2 degrees enshrined in the Paris Agreement. So Paris Agreement tried to limit the global warming below 2 degrees Celsius and if possible 1.5 degrees Celsius because there is a demand from alliance of small island development states. क्या उसका किसका डिमांड था? स्मॉल आइलैंड डेवलपमेंट स्टेट्स, जिसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? सीड्स बोलते हैं, small island developing states, because the small island they think that if climate is increased, like temperature is increased beyond 2 degrees, so their land is very like Maldives, they are located, not Maldives, other also even Fuji, Maldives, they are located 1 to 2 meter, not 1 to even few cm above the sea level. So if sea level is rise, so their country will be submerged. So that is the reason they want concrete and faster actions to limit the climate pollution. ठीक है. So here this article is talking about this limit, whether it is scientifically proven or not. But thing is that it is proven or not, we need to act very fast to limit the greenhouse gas emissions so that we can limit the the warming and protect our environment also. And it is talking about taking action like climate adaptations. ठीक है. So just read it out, you'll find it, understand it. So next is number of disaster displacement in India last decade. So 3.2 crore people are displaced because of the disaster, and out of that majority of people are displaced because of flood and cyclone. So here it is talking about seeds of sustainability for India textile leadership. So it is talking about we need to how we are going to make our textile more sustainable. So as India is the 6th largest exporter of textile globally, adopting this practice could help textile industry strengthen its leadership, and we are presenting a growth opportunity to emerge as a important player in China plus one strategy. China plus one strategy क्या होता है? देखो, recently so many countries are apprehension about the Chinese behavior, so they just want to shift their base from the China to another country. So that is what called China and plus one country. In that they are looking India as an alternative because vast resource, skilled pool, domestic demand. So because of that, India can use this as an opportunity to unlock its potential. So what we can do, we can use regenerative farming. Here we can use technology to regenerate the product. ठीक है. So next you can read all these things, you'll understand it better. ठीक है. So next is traceability. We need to understand like where it is originate, value chain, so that any defect, any problem that we can identify. Then it is talking about we need to promote branding also. ठीक है. So here you need to study the textile industry is projected to grow 350 billion by 2030 and it will add 35 million jobs. So we need to take all these steps so that our textile industry is environmental friendly. Okay. So BESS. So it is BESS in India, clean energy transition. So I'm just explaining you'll understand it better. So देखो, after the Paris Agreement, we have to shift from coal to renewable energy now. But problem with renewable energy that it is not always available. Whenever there is a sunlight, it is available. Whenever there is a wind, it is available. So in that case, we need battery storage. But that battery storage is costly. So we need to have systemic policy to achieve that. So that is what it is talking, how we are going to use, so that our objective of having 500 gigawatt of renewable energy by 2030 we can able to achieve that. ठीक है. So empowering women in the green business. So here it is talking about green economy having huge potential, so we can empower. So it is given, I think here it is given, just a second. ठीक है. ठीक है. So it is given that the business women are lack access to the credit. The moment they go to the bank, there is a discrimination. So when women act in a green business, so that is going to have multiplier effect. So just read it out, I've just highlighted it. Okay. So this newspaper, you can get it in our application, just scan the QR code. So aiming for a era of bio happiness. So like living in area near to the forest environment, so that is what giving you happiness. So the rapid rate at which biodiversity are disappearing in northeast, mirroring the global rise of rate of species extinction. Traditional knowledge about the medicine and nutritional property this food as well as culinary practice tribal community are probable go extinct at the same space. So this article is talking about all these things. You need to preserve our traditional food habit, all these things. So next, it is talking about the recent policy, the EV policy that allow the lower tax of lower tax import up to 8,000 of vehicles, provided they have to invest more than 4,100 crore investment. So before that, India is also started implementing this scheme named FAME, faster adoption, faster manufacturing and adoption of electric vehicles. So FAME 1, FAME 2 schemes. Okay, so this is what it is talking about. So I have already highlighted, so just read it out, you'll understand it better. So exponymics, better environmental health. So just read it out. So here it is given what is the meaning of exponymics. Just a second. So exposome is defined as measure of all the exposure of an individual in a lifetime, how this exposure related to health. So traditional environmental health study include hypothesis driven by which focus on the one parameter, but in real life, whenever we are exposed to environments, all the factors, they act together. So because of that, cumulative effect is more than the individual effect. So it is talking about all these things. So just read all these things. By reading all these things, it will help in your CSAT also, and in building the critical analysis. Okay, dear student, I think we'll have to end our discussion here. So dear student, if you like this video, please like, subscribe to our channel, and please write comment in the comment box regarding your suggestion, feedback, always welcome. And please do homework of all the tasks that I have given. Okay, so it is my guarantee you will score 20 to 30 marks in the prelims. There is no point of there is a fail in the prelims. Okay, chaliye, bye bye, take care, have a good day, Jai Hind.